What up, Wastelanders? Christopher here, Gaslands NorCal. Thanks for joining me once again for another conversion video. Now, in case you didn't know, the Gaslands NorCal 2023 Season of Carnage Late Harvest started a couple weeks ago. That race was mainly just a race to figure out who was going to get to pick their sponsors first. I was lucky enough to come in third, and I was able to get Rutherford, which is my favorite sponsor. Absolutely love all the weapons and blowing stuff up, so yeah, that's what I went with. This season, our corporate sponsor is Rust Belt Customs. Great guy. He does some outstanding work. Anything you want, just ask for it. He'll draft it up, draw it up, print it out, send it to you. Just fantastic stuff. So definitely check him out. For my vehicle for this season, I'm going to be going with this 68 Chevy Nova. And I'm going to be using the Hulk symbol that the guys were Rust Belt Customs did up for me. From the Avengers, Marvel movies, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, it's going to be a bright yellow-green from Monument Hobbies Pro Acryl, of course. So I'm going to get it all painted up in the green. I've got these wheels that I really like. They're a little bit too big, so I'm going to have to resize these and get some printed off. Absolutely love my 3D printer. If you have something you find or something's not right size, just shift it all around, print up some new ones. Amazing. Got some weapons getting printed right now, but yeah, so this is what I'm going to have going on, and once we get it all put together, then I will go over how I'm going to spec this vehicle out, starting off with only a 20-can vehicle, and we bump up from there. So yeah, not a lot can be going on this vehicle right away, but eventually we will get there. But first off, we got to get this baby apart, get her into the stripper. Alright, we're all stripped up and ready to go now. Everything's all cleaned off. Really like the citrus stripper, the orange gel stuff works really good. I'm going to be priming this one with the one-shot primer from MIG. This stuff works really well, any of the colors. I do find that the white is a little bit thin, so I'm going to be adding a little bit of the Pro Acryl Monument Hobbies white to it, just to make it a tiny bit thicker. So I'm going to be priming it in white because I want the bright yellow-green to really stand out, and doing it over gray would just dull it down a little bit. So we're going to do this in white, and then wait for that to dry, and then we'll move on to the next step. Alright, so the primer's all dried and ready to go. We're moving on to the Monument Hobbies Pro Acryl Bright Yellow-Green. It's one of the things that I always tend to go a little bit slower at is running any kind of paint through my airbrush that's not specifically made for an airbrush. So just kind of thin it out with the airbrush thinner just a little bit at a time until I get the right mixture and get it where I want it, and then I go to town. So let's get the airbrush all charged up, some paint going on, and then go on to the next step. Alright, so we're all painted up, ready to go. Looking really good with that bright yellow-green I got going on. I want to add a little bit more color to like the front quarter panels, and maybe the back portion of it. So I'm going to be using the Citadel Color Technical Tesseract Glow, just to give it a little more pop. I'll leave the rest of it the way it is, but yeah, just quarter panels and right in there, and then we'll start doing some weathering, and then we'll add on the decals. Got some weapons and armor and wheels ready to go. Get it all painted up, and then we'll start getting it all together. Alright, we're all bright and shiny and ready to go. A little bit too shiny for Gaslands, so we're going to be doing some weathering using the good old Agrax Earthshade method on there. Slather it on there and then wipe it off and get some streaks and stuff going on, getting all the cracks and crevices and stuff. Alright, so we're all sufficiently grunged up now, got all the edges all popping out and everything, looking much more Gaslands than just the bright and shiny. So I'm going to get the build all together and then get the decals on there, and do the wheels, weapons, and everything else. Got some big old wheels all picked out, nice weapons, and it's a little bit of armor to put on there. So yeah, let's get this together, and while that glue is drying on this one, we will get these ones all primed up in black. Alright, so we're all glued back together. Everything's looking good. Did a little bit more of the fine details, the headlights and the turn signals and the door handles and the tail lights and everything else going on. Got the wheels ready to go and the weapons and some armor ready to go on there. So next we're going to jump over to the decals. Again, these are coming from Rust Belt Customs. Great guy. He does some great stuff, a lot of custom work. Just ask him for whatever you want and he can make it, draw it, print it, whatever. So yeah, going to get these going on the hood and on the doors, and then we'll get everything glued on, and then we'll finish up with a little bit more weathering. So first, let's do these decals. All right, decals are on there. I'm just looking outstanding. He does such a good job with those. They such durable, high quality decals and everything. They slide right over there. Of course, getting some technical storm shield on there to make sure everything stays in place and is protected. But yeah, just looking outstanding. Absolutely love those. So next we're going to move on to getting the wheels and everything on there. Doing a little bit of chipping before we take a look and see if we want to get any other weathering done there. So yeah, first actually let's do the chipping, then we'll get the wheels and weapons on, and then we'll see where we're at. So let's do some chipping. Right on. So we got the weapons, wheels, and everything going on there. Got the little armor going on the sides and the back and everything. Yeah, the chipping turned out really cool. We're really liking this, especially for just the first intro vehicle into the Gaslands NorCal 2023 Season of Carnage Late Harvest. Probably going to darken up the windows a little bit, but other than that, that's probably all the actual paint I'm going to put on there. But I'm also going to do just a tiny bit of rust, just a little bit of the Vallejo orange rust, just a little bit around the bottoms, maybe some of the bumper and the grill and whatnot, but not too much. Then you're going to finish it up with the AK accumulated dust splatter effect. Yeah, and then we'll be good. So just get a tiny bit of weathering on there, and then we'll dust it up. All right, and there we have it. One intro Rutherford vehicle. It's only 19 cans. We're starting off at 20 cans. We're going to move up incrementally after each event. So, 20, 30, 40, on like that. So yeah, just starting off at 20 cans, saving one can for a little bit later. So the way I spec'd this baby out is obviously with the handguns. Got the minigun on the front, and just Deadeye. That puts me right at 19 cans for this just intro car. So we'll see what happens later on in the league and see where else I go with it. Obviously, the more cans, the better. The more perks, the more powerful weapons and everything else. So you know what? If you enjoyed this video, you learned something, please do me a favor and hit that like button. My goal is to do weekly videos, whether they're vehicle builds, terrain builds, whatever. So if that's for you, please hit the sub button below and ring the bell to get notified when new content drops. I do sell all my builds on Etsy pretty inexpensively, so if you want to pick something up or just check out what I've done, you can request a custom build on there. Until next time, keep your foot on the gas and your finger on the trigger. Gaslands NorCal, signing out.